The slide here, we have a slide of the stomach, but we have two areas. We have the pyloric and the fundic region. As we said in the lecture, the only difference between the pyloric and the fundic region that the fundic region we have two important cells, the chief and parietal cell. The chief cell is responsible for production of the pepsinogen, whereas the parietal cell will be responsible for the production of the hydrochloric acid. So we'll start with the fundic region. So if we increase the magnification of this area, we can see the area of the mucosa, the epithelium, with the gastric gland, and at the area here we have the muscularis mucosa, and the area just below this area here we have the area of the submucosa. Then we have the layers of the smooth muscle. Again, we have three layers of the smooth muscle. We have inner oblique, middle circular, and outer longitudinal. And from outside, we have the area of the serosa. All area here contain the gastric gland. This is the surface lining epithelium. At the area here, we have the gastric pits, and from this area to this area, all we can is called the gastric gland, and we have different type of cells. As you can see in the top, we can see the simple columnar mucus producing cells. Okay, this is the area of the gastric pits, and between this gland we'll have the area of the connective tissue, the lamina propria, as we can see it here, this area here. And we start to see two different cell types. Okay, see the difference between this type of cell and this type of cell. Here we can see the cytoplasm, it's pink in color, whereas the cells here are more basophilic or bluish in color. These cells here found almost in the periphery for these cells. These cells are called parietal cells, whereas these cells are called the chief cell. Chief cell is responsible for production pepsinogen, whereas the parietal cell is responsible for production of hydrochloric acid. Again, we can see here this is the gastric gland, and the cells that found in the periphery, all of these cells are the parietal cells. And at this area here is the area of the muscularis mucosa, which separate the mucosa from the submucosa, which is dense irregular connective tissue. If you go to this area here, again, we have the mucosa, submucosa, and this area here, we have the muscularis externa with the serosa. But we can see here, this is the epithelium, the surface lining epithelium, and this area here, we have the gastric glands. But if we increase the magnification, okay, you can notice there is no chief cells or parietal cell which are responsible for production pepsinogen and hydrochloric acid. And as I said, that there is no difference between the pyloric and the cardiac region. They are only different from the fundic region. As I said, the fundic region contain the chief cell and parietal cells.